Hi, welcome. It's Kenny Russell, Bulldozer Faith, Living Life in the Spirit. We're here on the Planting Seeds of Light tour in the USA. We're in Lebanon, Tennessee, and I'm with Michael Earl. Welcome. How are you?
Doing good, Kenny.
Well, thanks for joining with me today. We're just doing some testimonies on sharing what the Father is doing in your life. How long have you been walking in the Hebraic roots of the faith, Michael?
I would say about 5 years now.
Uh-huh.
I would, if I had to put a date on it, 5 years.
And what was the significant thing that brought you to this understanding? Did you come from like the Christian world, or where did you begin?
Okay, well, I've been in church since I was a young, almost said a weein', since I was a young boy. Okay, I've been in church, and I ended up, I spent some time in ministry school, and I learned a lot about the theology. Okay, and anyways. Been to different kinds of evangelical churches and started studying the Hebrew roots because I found out when I studied the culture, the Bible made more sense.
Right.
Well, about 5 years ago, if I had a significant event that happened, about 5 years ago, I had picked up a book. Someone here at this congregation at Lamb gave me a book by Batya Wooten about the feasts. Okay. And in the beginning of the book, the preface, it talked about returning Israel, okay, which is a concept after all the years I've been in the church, never was presented to me that I could possibly be, a long-lost Israelite, okay? So I'm reading the preface to this book, and I'm getting, if I might use a charismatic word, getting kind of stirred up in the spirit about it, okay? And so I just say a quick little prayer, Father, is this true? Am I Israel? Okay? Go to sleep. About 3 o'clock in the morning, I get jerked up out of my sleep by this searing pain in my hip. Okay, down in the socket of my hip.
Wow.
Just yelling, just middle of the night, waking up. It lasted like maybe 5 seconds, and it was gone. And I'm just standing there, sitting there lying in bed. What was that?
Wow.
Okay, it never happened before. Never happened since, okay? But it brought to my mind the verse, the passage when Jacob was at Jabbok.
Yeah.
Okay, and he got his new name. And it was like the Father telling me, and that's exactly what it was.
Wow.
It was a very concrete message. It's probably, if I had a burning bush experience in my life, that would be the one.
That was it.
That was it. And so it was this concrete thing. No matter what anybody tells you, whatever any theologian or pastor or your really awesome church friend tells you about Torah and everything, this is the truth.
Right.
You are Israel.
So, Michael, let's just talk this through. So you discover you are Israel. You're studying in ministry. When you shared this with other people, what reactions did you receive? What were they saying to you to try and say, don't look at this? Because I'm sure they were trying to discourage you from going down this road.
Well, there was a few things, I ended up volunteering to leave the church I was attending at the time.
Right.
I wasn't mad at anybody. I just saw that I was going down a different path. Instead of like causing some trouble, let's just go, But I did have a few discussions with people as I was, because the church I was going to at the time was kind of their, what's the word? They're really controlling.
Okay.
They were kind of controlling, okay, I'll just say. All right. They had a strong opinion about what you should believe, and if you didn't believe what they believed, then there must be something wrong with you. But so after I left and people asked me why, and there was a few kind of, I wouldn't say they were hostile discussions, but they were, uncomfortable to say the least. But
have you noticed any common phrase in which people use when they hear you're in Hebrew roots?
Well, yeah, I mean, they talk about not being under the law.
Okay.
And that one came up a lot, or just the Jesus dying on the cross waved some magic wand that made all the stuff that the Old Testament said about,
it's all complete,
Torah. Yeah, just wave this magic. We don't understand it. We just know he magically did it. You know? And I just found that was not consistent with the scriptures as a whole. So, but yeah, just the concept of not being under the law, and don't want to steal your show if you
No,
have
no,
another
it's
question.
important. It's
My
great.
thought on that is just if I'm doing the law because I want to please the Father, if I'm doing it because I know that it's a righteous way to live,
Right.
I'm not doing it because I'm trying to earn anybody's favor.
It's not like you're trying to earn your salvation.
Yeah,
You still, you know, you are saved.
I'm
you're
saved, and I've been charged with a task of representing
Right.
the Father, and then that's
Right.
the instructions on how to do that. You know.
So, through your journey, through your walk, many people say that if you go back, now what people need to understand is you are going back to Torah with Yeshua. That brings a whole new dimension to the law compared to Judaism. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely. You know, what I really enjoy is I enjoy reading the prophets.
Right.
Because I feel like if there's anything that's like reading God's diary, it's reading the prophets. If you
The
want
words that he's spoken. That
the words that like how he feels. You know,
Right.
when people write in those kind of journals, how I
Yeah.
feel about this, my thoughts.
Yeah.
When it's reading about Messiah is going to teach the Torah to all the nations when he comes back.
Right.
You know,
That's
things like
something that
that.
people don't understand. That for that 1,000-year reign, the Messiah is going to be teaching us Torah for 1,000 years.
I even had
It's
a friend.
amazing,
I
isn't
had
it?
a friend. I said that. I said, you know, you're going to have to do this when he comes back, and he's like, that may be so, but until then, I'm
still
free.
I'm gonna have my bacon, lettuce, and tomato sandwich,
That's
and
really what
keep
it came.
trucking. Wow.
That's the thing, people out there. That was the thing. I have a friend. I love him to death, and I know he loves me to death. But that was the thing that he was all cool with me doing all of this until the day I said I'm not going to eat that pepperoni pizza, and that's when he's like, wait a minute.
We're not going there.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. Well, Michael, I appreciate you sharing. But one thing I want to ask before we go, coming back to Torah for the past 5 years, have you lost your joy? Are you under legalism? Are you just really miserable now?
No. No.
Why not? That's
actually,
what they say you should be. Haven't you heard?
How to say it exactly gives it the most weight. When I was in the church and I was following their 10 commandments, you know, thou shalt go to church on Wednesday night. Thou shalt, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just they made up their own. I don't know if anybody out there realizes it, but churches have their own law. And looking back on it, I found that was a lot more bondage than actually trying to keep the Torah.
Right.
Now, you know, keeping Torah is a lifelong pursuit,
Uh-huh.
you know. But the most joy I have really is the idea. I have 2 children now, you know, 2 young children, and the point really is to teach them.
Right. How
That's
to teach them to walk in his ways.
I learned the commandments. The biggest reason I learned the commandments is to teach my children.
Amen.
And the biggest reason for them to learn from me is to teach their children.
So we can be in relationship with
Yes.
the Father. Amen.
And I would even go so far as to say that was the you know, evangelizing people who don't know is certainly part of the gospel, but I thought
Right.
I think the biggest part that's been missed is just how it all ties into the family.
Right.
You
right.
know what I mean? It's all about
vital for the
the family.
Yeah.
So
That's
yeah.
excellent. Well, Michael, I want to thank you for sharing with me today just a little bit of your heart. It's exciting to see what the Father is doing in your life, and to be here and see you're surrounded by a thriving body. We can hear them all in the background from the service today. People are blessed, they're encouraged, and you definitely see that kehalah, that family spirit going on here. Thanks for taking the time to share.
Thanks, Kenny.
Until next time, bye.